This is something that happened somewhere in the year 1978. Is it? 978, sorry, 978. 978. That from that 978, now it is 1000 years. The whole Indian civilization after these attacks was on fall. What do you think is the cause of this fall of whole civilization? It is not just plunder. We couldn't protect ourselves. It's a failure. What do you think? Everybody has his own take on the issue. But the point is, why this happened, and once we faced this, after that 100 or so years after Muhammad Ghori came, and after that other came, and when the sultans went back, they left their slaves here to rule the country. So that slave dynasty started and all that. What is your take? What was the cause of the fall in the Indian civilization to this extent that we were subject to such kind of loot and we became?
Yeah. You missed because you came in between. Yeah. I have already explained that why Indian rulers failed in battle against Mahmud and against other Islamic plunderers over time. And there are two key reasons. The first, the fighting spirit in Indian warriors started declining after the concept of non-violence gained momentum. And most rulers and their subjects lost interest in warfare. The rulers gave very little importance in maintaining a strong army or upgrading their military infrastructure. The number two, Indian rulers always followed the rules of dharma in warfare. So I would like to repeat again, just to answer him, like they never pillaged land or destroyed standing structures in enemy lands. They took care of the injured at the end of the day. They never stabbed from behind and avoided hitting below the navel. And they considered women prisoners of war and farmers as sacred. They were merciful if there's enemies sought pardon. But Islamic plunderers and invaders followed exactly the opposite of these rules of dharma followed by Indian warriors. They followed the tactics of treachery, deception, and cruelty. So Indians, they thought like, because war always took place, and most of the wars were between states in India. So each party followed rules of dharma. So when these barbaric plunderers came, they followed exactly the opposite of these rules of dharma. So they were taken unawares. They never thought that they would do like that. And moreover, as I already mentioned, because they gave very little importance in maintaining a strong army and they did not upgrade their military infrastructure, so they failed. But not all kingdoms failed, and the Islamic rule did not cover the whole of India, only parts of India.
Just before you I spoke, and it was a similar this thing, not just India. From the moment the Islamic culture or the invaders, whatever one may say, the pre-Islamic Arabs, the same treatment they gave to the pre-Islamic Arabs as well. And then whether it was Persians, whether it was Turks, whichever country they invaded, not just Indian, like you said, dharma, following the dharma. Basically, none had ever seen, a strategy like this, because people would fight the organized wars. They were the military was fighting. They weren't fighting people, but these were the only people who attacked the land, the colonies, the city, the land, and they attacked. Yes, they attacked at large anybody and everybody. That's it. They plundered. They cut, because wars were fought at a certain time. They had the principle, like different countries at different times. Like it'll start at this time and end at this time, and and also it'll be away from the country. I mean the countryside. It will not be within this thing, but these people kind of just rushed into, that was the main reason also that we really did not fail actually. It's a huge subject, we did not really fail.
It was a very interesting talk, and thank you, very informative. One of the points which you mentioned in the beginning, where you said that we don't really know about the valor and bravery of our kings. One of the very important kings in the south who defeated Muhammad Ghazni, is Rajendra Chola,
Yes.
of which very little is known. And honestly, even though I'm from the south, I myself got to know this only about 7 or 8 years ago because I'm not from Tamil Nadu.
Hundreds and thousands of
Kings,
instances of
yes.
valor.
But one of the most significant was Rajendra because he had a huge cavalry unit, which was one of Ghazni's strengths. Muhammad Ghazni's strengths was his, and he was very strong there, both naval and this is one of the things we are never taught about. Only Tamil Nadu students know this because Rajendra Chola was a very big king, very heroic. But all of the rest of India doesn't know this.
Yeah. That's what I have already mentioned, that
Yeah, which you mentioned.
we're projected as losers. We have been projected as losers, and that has brought that inferiority complex in us. So we question ourselves, and we question, these questions often crop up in your minds, like I've already told, like were we always defeated? Didn't our ancestors offer any resistance? Did they easily surrender? So
Ours was a history of a chain of undefeated, uninterrupted or defeated.
I have written a book. It is under the print process. The name of the book is Saffron Swords. It contains 52 tales of valor of Indian warriors from the 8th century to the 20th century. So these tales of valor are not found in history books. And these are all tales of valor, the victories won by Indian warriors against Islamic plunderers and invaders. So there will be a series of books. This is the first. And it will be, so it will be published, like it is under the print process, and it will be released in, say, by the end of this January or in February.
Yeah, can you please tell a little bit more about this author, Farishta? What do we know about him?
He is a 16th to 17th century Persian historian. He has written 2 main books about the Islamic, about Islamic rulers who ruled India, as well as the Afghanistan, Pakistan, and the Arab countries. And he relied on earlier historians to write these 2 books.
And what will be his sources of information? Because
So
it was after 600 years or so.
He relied on other historians, the historians who have, for example, Minaj Siraj. He was from the 12th century, 13th century. So he used to accompany Bakhtiyar Khilji during his battlefield exploits, and he used to note down the exact accounts of the battle. So he relied on such historians to write this book.
So it will be very helpful to sort of put it up.
Yes.
To know that it's authentic.
Because whatever the facts that I have presented are not based on Indian historians. These are based on Persian historians. Farishta and
Have you also mentioned like Amir Khusro also has accompanied 7 of the Sultanate, 7 rulers, and even he's written. So
there are so many Muslim historians who have.
जैसे कि आपके टॉक से भी पता चलता है कि हमारी ज्यादातर वेल्थ या तो मंदिरों में थी या राजाओं के पास थी, द किंगडम्स.
Initially when I started the talk,
yes. But मेरा उससे प्रेजेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट में भी वही सवाल आता है, शायद हम इसलिए लूज करते तो नहीं रहे कि हमारा कुछ स्टेक पे ही नहीं होता था एज कॉमनर्स. You see, we have nothing to lose. So वही हम अपने किंगडम्स को भी सपोर्ट नहीं करते थे. 2000 लोग मिल जाएंगे मरने के लिए, 5000 मिल जाएंगे, लेकिन जनरली हम कन्वर्ट होते चले आ रहे थे राइट फ्रॉम द अफगानिस्तान, फ्रॉम द कंधार और फ्रॉम द गजनी, और वो हमें कन्वर्ट करते चले जाते थे. कुछ 100 लोग वहां से चलते थे और उनको हमारी ही फौज मिल जाती थी रास्ते में. Those who were against their local जमींदार्स, local rulers, local सूबेदार्स, like all that.
I would like to cite one example here. I have told that most Indian rulers did not upgrade their military infrastructure, and they did not keep a ready standing army. But there is one instance, let me cite one example from Bengal. She is Rani Bhavashankari. She was a contemporary of Akbar. So she made it compulsory that every family should give a soldier. So there is one soldier recruited from every family, and no one could refuse. No one could refuse. And so she kept a ready standing army in all the borders, including a naval force at the river fronts. And so the Pathans, because we have traitors even today. So her minister, he allianced with a Pathan ruler of a neighboring kingdom of Bengal, and they attacked Bhavashankari. But she defeated the Pathans thrice. She was a devotee of goddess Chandi. And there are similar many examples of such bravery.
Like you told, 1,000 years Islam, these sultans and all did this thing. She told about 1947, today's 1990s anniversary, 28th anniversary. So what should we learn out of these 1,000 years of invasions? Because it is done under the same thing. If what conclusion I draw from it, it is all Islam and the Islamic invasions are there. उनका ये एक मजहबी काम है जो वो कर रहे हैं 1000 साल से, हम उसको देख रहे हैं. तब हम नहीं समझे उनके मोडस ऑपरेंडी को कि जिस तरीके से उन्होंने वो लड़े, जो आपने कहा कि हमारे एथिकल वॉर्स होते थे, हम उनके तरीकों को नहीं समझे. तो अब हम क्या समझ रहे हैं और क्या समझें और क्या उसके लिए करें? बस मेरा
this is all continuing at present also, but again we need to get united, but that unity is not happening. And one of the things that is required, the awareness should spread, like the glory of our ancestors. Awareness about the glory of our ancestors should spread. So we can draw inspiration from these glorious tales of valor. So एक बार जब वो आ जाएगा, then the education syllabus, the history syllabus needs to be changed. But again, that won't happen. Again, it will happen, but it will take hundreds of years. Like for example, see in Rajasthan, during BJP rule, they changed some portion of Rana Pratap, and but again after the Congress rule came, they again